Hello, Teacher Shara here, and today I wanted to talk about UAs, otherwise known as unit assessments. The first time you see that all of a sudden you have 45 to 50 slides, what? I can hardly get through 25, 26, 27. How am I going to get through 45 slides? Never fear. I wanted to explain a little bit how unit assessments are not as daunting as they might seem. First of all, you should understand that a unit assessment is like a game board that the students are going through, and you are assessing their ability as you go through. So what I have done is I have printed off pieces from the game board that are movable. And so I just have levels 1 through 6, and sometimes they don't need level 6, so I'll take that off. And we go through and play the game. Right away, the students choose if they want Meg or Mike. Now, I've never had a student that I remember choose Mike if it was a girl, or if it was a girl, and choose Meg if it was a boy. I always have the girls always choose Meg, and the boys always seem to choose Mike. So they choose their person, and then Meg or Mike moves through the game. Now, sometimes they are always earning different things, and depending on what it is, sometimes I may have the thing to put on there. Oh, yay, you earned a pig, and I'll put that on there. Oh, yay, you earned a pig. Horse, cow, there's all different kinds of themes that run through based on what their unit was about. Sometimes I just don't have the pieces for that. So what I've done is I've printed off all of these stars that are in the files on some Facebook groups, if you're a part of those. And then I will do that. Yay, you earned a star. And then Meg moves through, and yay, you earned a star. What you need to know is that unit assessments have a lot of slides that take less than 5 seconds because they're really just fluff slides. You are moving through the game quickly and easily. And so literally you will be clicking through slides very quickly. In fact, what I've heard from people in my experience has been a lot of times you need to extend in unit assessments because they move so quickly, especially if the student knows the material well, which hopefully they do. So as you're going through, you are assessing. Now, some people, and this is what I used to do at the beginning just because it was easier, I just laminated this spreadsheet that does the questions, and I would mark myself little notes to know if they earned 1, 2, or 3, and I would go through this. I laminated this so I could erase it and reuse it. Now I'm at the point, and you'll probably find as you get more and more experience with unit assessments, I don't use this. I, for a while, just jotted notes in my notebook. Now what I do is I actually pull up the assessment on my screen, and I do half and half screen, and I bring my video interface with the student down to 80%, and that helps me see the assessment and the student at the same time. For if you teach level 1s, they only have 4 parts to the game board, and so I just printed this piece off. You can screenshot and print off the whole thing, but I like to do this because then it's versatile. I can use it for multiple units even though it doesn't exactly match. And then the students are actually going through in level 1, and it's either Meg or Mike, and they're looking for the other either Meg or Mike who's not on there. And where's Meg? I don't know, and I'll have them repeat. And so that's how I move through these. At the end, I have these. You win! Yay! You win! I found Meg! And we'll go through and do that. So timing. Timing is tricky because the other lessons are about 1 minute a slide. Well, that's out the window on this. So what I do is I try to think, especially if there's 5, it's easy, about 5 minutes per level. If it's 6, it's a little different. And I find that the bulk of the material is at the level 1, 2, and 3 is the bulk of the material. So those take a little bit longer than the ending units. the ending levels. And so I just try and gauge, okay, I give stars at every level, so I try to have about 5 minutes per level. So if we're at 10 minutes, I should have given about 2 stars, give or take. The other way I look at it, because the little guys only have 30 some slides usually, is I try to gauge, I should be at around 12 and a half minutes, 12, 13, something like that, when I'm about halfway through the slides. So the other thing is lesson 12s for level 2 through 6 is their presentation time. And sometimes they look blank at you when you say, oh, do you have your homework? And I like to use the term homework instead of presentation because I think it registers better, it translates better. So I will ask, do you have your homework or your homework presentation? And sometimes they hold up these beautiful, wonderful things that they have worked on, and they will go through and explain. Hopefully that's the case. Once in a while, sometimes I have a student that does not have anything to show. So what we will do is we will move through the lesson, and I try to move through a little bit more quickly, and then at the end of the lesson, I try to give them time to actually do whatever they were supposed to do for the presentation so I can give them points. And so if it was draw a face, we will draw a face together, or I'll have them pull out paper or whiteboard and do that and then explain to me, so then I can give them points. If there's not time, there is not time, and that is not your responsibility as the teacher, that is the student's responsibility. Something I heard that really helped me was you are not giving points. The students are earning points. So don't feel badly if you have to give lower points. If the student just doesn't know the material or hasn't come prepared, that's important for parents to know. I try to be really honest in my feedback, and I know it's scary because it can end up affecting you with your apples, but I feel like I need to be helpful to the student. I'm here to assess authentically. Some people get worried when some parents like to sit right by and feed their student answers. Here's how I view that. These parents are paying for the classes, and if they want to sit beside and feed their student the answer, I figure that's what they are choosing. This is not, they aren't graduating into another, this isn't regular school. So I am not moving a student forward that shouldn't be moving forward. These are parents who are paying for an extracurricular activity, and hopefully, even if the parents are feeding the student answers, hopefully they're learning through that. But I don't feel like that's, it's not necessary for me to judge if the parents are not doing what they should be doing or doing what they shouldn't be doing. They are paying for this. This is for them. So I just judge based on what the student tells me and what output is there. The other thing is, once in a while you will have a student who comes in super late, or there's a bunch of technical issues, or you just have a student who just can't keep moving through, and so you may not finish the assessment. I really try to move kids fast, and we, even if they're not getting something, give them 30 seconds to get it, and if they can't, help feed them the answer so they get it with help, and then move to the next slide. So I really try to finish, but sometimes there's such technical issues, or they've come in so late it just isn't possible. What I do at that point is I send in a ticket saying we were not able to finish. I will finish the UA, and anything we didn't get to will get the lowest amount of points. And then I will put in the comments, both to the parents and in the teacher comments, that this lesson should be redone so they are still doing the unit assessment in the next lesson. The other thing to know, and I don't know if they'll change this at some point, but you cannot submit unit assessment feedback until the 30-minute mark in a class. So let's say you finish at 25 minutes, you're done with your feedback at 27 minutes, you will not be able to submit it, and that is normal. You have to go back in and submit it after 30 minutes. I'm not sure why that is, but that is the case. And maybe by the time you're watching this, this has already changed. But don't stress about unit assessments. What I hear a lot and what I find is that they're fun, and in some ways they're easier, and a lot of times kids move quickly. So be willing to ask extra questions through the slides. Again, I try to do 5 minutes per level and just have fun with it. Thank you for watching. Feel free to comment and subscribe. I would love to hear what you do for unit assessments and what works for you. Thank you. Bye-bye.